I mean, you need to cure this freight situation. We need a few more loads out there. We do. Let's be honest about it.
That just came out of the owner's mouth, the owner of Prime Inc. Let's get into it.
Hey everybody, before we get into today's video, I want to talk to you about OTR. Not over-the-road trucking, OTR, on the revenue, Prime Edition. This is a trucking software that's been developed by an owner-op here at Prime to give you the leading edge in your business's profitability. If you want to save money, keep an eye on your numbers, and make sure you maximize your profitability, you want to check out OTR. Don't forget to click the link in the description below. Use Freight Skater Trucking as a referral. You get a 14-day free trial. After that trial, it's just $15 a month. That $15 a month, I promise you, is going to increase your profitability and save you money in the long run. Check it out today.
So guys, if you follow Prime or you follow them on YouTube, Facebook, anything like that, you've noticed they do a Friday morning safety meeting every single Friday. And this Friday was a little bit different. There was a couple things that went on that me and my wife both watched it, and we both thought like, wow, that's kind of crazy. The first thing is there was a misinterpretation, I think, of what Paul Higgins said about the trailer issue. Paul was talking about how our shippers are dedicated to loading us legal, and he stated that, you know what, if you are 34,000 pounds on your trailer axles, because each truck from Prime is equipped with a right weight system in the truck, which gives us the ability to gauge the axle weight for our drives combined, the two drive axles, not one individually. We can't gauge each single axle, but well, I'll let you guys hear what he said. Let's just throw in the clip here real quick.
I want to talk about weights for just a second. And there's a lot of people that'll give you bad coaching here. If you can get 34,000 pounds on your axle, on your drives, you don't need to really worry too much about what's going on in the trailer, because we don't ever really load over gross.
What did he just say?
Maybe one load out of thousands would ever have to be even over gross. You get 34,000 on your drives, you can't be in trouble on your trailer.
My God.
I don't want you going to cat scales. There's no need to waste that 15 or 20 bucks at cat scales.
Wow.
But I'm telling you, that's wasted money, and you don't need a tax write-off on that. You just need to not do it. You get headed down the road.
What?
Don't bother our shippers.
You gotta be kidding me.
We ought to be able to handle ourselves. Call your fleet manager before you leave the shipper, okay? Okay, don't take loads back to the shippers until you've talked to your fleet manager, okay? So I hope that makes some sense. If you got any problems, call your fleet manager. You can always get me on the phone as well. Love to help you out, okay?
So that being said, I think that was misinterpreted as, hey, never scale. I don't think Paul really meant that. I think what he was trying to say was, guys, stay confident in your equipment. You know, obviously you need to scale as needed. Don't feel like, you know, hey, our shippers are just trying to overload us all the time. And he did say that, you know, there's a slim percent that shippers would overload us, but we do see it from time to time, guys. So don't take it to heart. I don't think Paul was meaning anything, you know, I think it was just misinterpreted. I don't think he really meant to say that. I mean, I think what he was really trying to say was, based on a perfect 80,000 pound load, you're going to be able to look at your drive scale in your truck, your right way, and it should say 34, and you should be at 34 on your trailer, and 12,000 on your steers. So I've actually got a video I'm going to put in a card up here right now. It's actually a right way calibration and axle weight video. I'll show you guys how to calibrate those right ways. Kind of explain a little bit about axle weights and stuff like that. But I think Paul was just referring to, you know, best case scenario, 80,000 pound load. If you're sitting at 34,000 on your drives, you should be at 34,000 on your trailer. It's not always the case. So you guys, you're the captain of your ship. Scale your truck if needed, if you need to. If you are company, sometimes Prime will reimburse that stuff. If you are lease, it's a tax write-off. So it's not that big of a deal. $13 scale ticket, $14 scale ticket. It's not that big of a deal to keep you out of getting shut down at a weigh station or grabbing an overweight ticket. So next thing I want to talk to you guys about on the Friday morning safety meeting is Steve Wiki and Robert Lowe actually addressing the freight issue here at Prime. Now, a lot of people, you've seen a lot of drivers, mixed drivers on Facebook and social media saying, well, I don't know the problem you're talking about. I don't have a problem. I'm making X amount of dollars a week and all that. That's fantastic for you guys. But there are a lot of drivers and operators out there saying, hey, look, it's been tougher than it's ever been. Freight's not what it used to be. We're sitting more. We're having a lot more wait times. And guys, I feel you. Me and my wife have experienced the same thing periodically in these last couple months. And we're seeing it, talking to other drivers. And that's one thing that I think you can't understate, or you can't ever overstate, is the fact that drivers talk to other drivers. Like we will communicate, we'll network, whether it's with Prime, whether it's with other companies, stuff like that. We're going to get out there and network. So we've been talking to a lot of drivers, and a lot of drivers are experiencing the same thing that we've seen in the things that we've known firsthand from personal experiences, and drivers that we have personal relationships with. So let's take a look at these clips right here. We're going to look at Steve and Robert address this, and that we do have a freight issue right now.
Business is just a little bit spotty based off of what our economy is doing. Don't get your dauber down. Here's one thing we're not going to do. We're not going to match up on low price to create capacity. We won't do that. We will be the low-cost service provider for our customers. That's our strategy. Matching up on low price is the kiss of death. We're going to pick it up. We're out there beating the bushes, finding opportunities with other customers. Keith and all of our sales guys are out there on a weekly basis looking for new opportunities. Just gut it out with us. This thing's going to flip again. We'll be just fine. We've got enough freight for our trucks.
This guy right here, he's a sales guy. So we're asking him to step up. And he claims to be such a sales guy, and I'm touting him here. I mean, you need to cure this freight situation. We need a few more loads out there.
We do.
Let's be honest about it.
We do.
Also, we're always looking to improve the situations. We're going to have some fun, make some bank. Provided Steve gets out there and sells something, don't give it away either. Sell.
No, we're not going to do that low price thing.
Yeah.
No.
So that being said, guys, Prime is actually, they're trying. They really are. And my advice to you is they're saying say no to cheap freight. They're not going to haul cheap freight. Say no to cheap freight. Now we're going to go back to, as well as a lot of people are getting scared, and we've had our doubts as well from time to time the last couple months. But we're going to talk about what Paul Higgins said back earlier in the meeting, and I'll play that clip right now.
We have this huge appetite for trailers. Think about this. Through reefer, flatbed, and tanker, we grew maybe almost 1,000 trucks. It's real easy math. 1,000 trucks in last year. So we went from say 7,000 to 8,000. Okay, and just follow with me. So if we just grow 1,000 trucks and our trailer ratio is 1.6 trailers per tractor, that means we just have an appetite for 1,600 trailers a year. So that doesn't count replacing the trailers. We want to replace trailers as they get about 4 or 5 years old. But we got thousands of trailers now coming and going. We have an appetite annually for about 3,000 trailers. So while I was up here a second ago and I said, hey, look, we got to deal with utility for 2,100 trailers, that doesn't cut it. That leaves us way short. So we're out there beating the bushes, and we just take up a huge amount of everybody's production. It's really weird kind of what a machine this is.
Prime is buying trailers. They are buying trailers. That's a good sign. We are still rotating equipment and bringing new equipment in. Everybody's worried about, what's Prime doing now? What's going to happen? If those questions ever cross your mind, if Prime was ready to, because you look at Swift. Swift just bought US Express. That's huge. I mean, Swift's a mega carrier now. If Prime was ready to lay it down, or they were worried, I don't think they would be spending millions of dollars on brand new equipment. I don't think they would be revolving it. Now, Prime that's one of the great things about Prime. Every 5 or 6 years, they will rotate equipment. Sometimes 4. Just depends on what it is. But guys, they are still buying equipment. They're still rotating equipment. They're still out there trying to get those loads. That's what you need to be focused on. If a company is still trying to grow, if they're still trying to reach out and network for those contracts, network for that equipment, network for these lanes, that's what's important. So if you're here at Prime right now, my best advice to you is if you have an area that you're not willing to run, or you haven't been willing to run lately, be open-minded. Be open to run that area to get that revenue on the truck. If you have somewhere that you typically are like, man, I'll never go there again, you might want to think about it. So you might have to step out of our comfort zone and drive in areas that we may not typically want to drive in, but you might not be able to be so choosy because the pickings are a little slim, but they're dedicated to keep us out here on the road. We got to be dedicated and keep rolling with the punches. I saw some other people in the chat on the Facebook and the YouTube chat going on while the video was going. People were talking about hiring freeze. You know, what's Prime doing about the hiring, stuff like that. Guys, just as we said before, we are kind of, pickings are slim for loads. We're trying to keep our drivers moving. So if you're trying to come to Prime right now, keep trying. At the first of every month, apply. It doesn't mean, just because you don't get accepted, doesn't mean that Prime doesn't want you. It means right now, hiring could be limited. Hiring could be limited in certain areas. It changes month to month, guys. So you got to understand, each recruiter has a quota every single month that they deem out that, hey, we want X amount of drivers in per recruiter. We want X amount of drivers from this area, whatever. Guys, keep updated. If you have any questions, call one of the recruiters. My recruiter's number's down in the comments below, in the description below. Call Dustin, give him a holler, email him, check with him. Hey, what are you guys hiring right now this month? You know, where are you hiring from? Guys, if you got a question, ask. That's all you got to do.
Don't be a victim here. All you got to do is ask. Please don't be hesitant to ask questions. If you'll just call the right person here in our office, we'll help you through it. We're far from perfect. However, I'll tell you, we want to get better every day, and you all can help us do that.
So if you're wanting to come to Prime and they're not accepting your application right now, don't fret, okay? It may be due to the fact that we are at capacity at the moment. So once the freight market picks up, the economy starts picking up a little bit, you know, we're at the end of that first quarter period, we're probably going to see a lot more hiring going on, which is going to be good for our trainers. It's going to be a full circle thing again. So stay positive, guys. If you got a question, reach out and ask it. It's not like Prime's going anywhere. So that's all I got for you guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, sub, and share the channel. Get that information out there. That's what it's all about. Stay safe. God bless. Till the next one, Freight Skater out.